Oh, well, we're all recording,
I'm recording. Catch up, Keelan. We don't wait for you, Keelan. You've had an hour. We've been sitting here for an hour.
Hang on, I might have to change my shirt.
I doubt it.
Guys, welcome to a brand new episode of the Luke and Lewis Show, world's most unprofessional podcast. If you want 2 extra episodes every single month, support us on Patreon, join the community. We're building something magical here. Yeah. The Last Secret. Oh, yeah. So The Last Secret one was actually really good. What we decided to do, because we wanted to keep this, obviously we don't want this shit out publicly, but we'll give it to the patrons. We decided to have like a stand-up joke writing workshop. So all of us brought an idea that we have that hasn't been properly fleshed out yet. And we just talked about
including Keelan,
idea,
by the way. And his stand-up set was uploaded during the week, so you could probably guess what kind of ballpark the joke idea was around. It started with D's, but I won't give away the punchline.
Yeah, of course.
That's the last thing I want to do.
That's on Patreon. But yeah, we all brought a stand-up idea, workshopped it, and that's, if you want to hear that, I think it's really interesting if you want an insight of how we write material, and you'll probably hear those jokes in a more finished form when we go back to performing live. So that was really cool, and it's on Patreon right now. Also, speaking of episodes that were bangers, definitely watch the Big Brother episode with the Big Brother guest. I know on paper that sounds boring, like a Big Brother guest, but bro, he was great. Kieran was hilarious. We basically just trashed the show with him.
Luke needs to give me record access. Otherwise, I can just say it instead of making me stop the podcast. He puts it in the chat, so I still have to stop to read it anyway.
Hey, Luke, in Keelan's defense, he did say, "Do not start. I am not ready." Yeah. And
how do I give you record access?
Should we just pause?
We should pause.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Just Zoom technical difficulties, but that's how it is. Yeehaw.
I don't think we can blame technology. It was Keelan very clearly said, "I'm not ready," and we all went, and then I went, "Woo!" and we ignored him for about 3 minutes.
But wouldn't it be easier for us to just blame technology?
Yes.
That's what I think. That would be great. Bloody technology.
But as we were saying, Kieran's episode was an absolute banger. Everyone who watched it, it was actually one of people's most favorite episodes we've done. It was super interesting. It's definitely like a weird world reality TV, and it was good to get kind of a behind the scenes scoop. And Kieran was pretty willing to spill the tea. He really doesn't give a fuck about any future TV opportunities, clearly.
I mean, you can like, if you listen to the episode, you can see me trying, because I haven't watched a single second of Big Brother, literally.
Yeah.
So you can see me pretending to know what's going on, and then at about 15, 20 minutes in, I just come clean and go, look, I haven't watched a single fucking episode. And then I just start trashing the show, and luckily he was on board. It was a gamble on my part, because if he got offended, that would have been fair enough, and it would have ruined the episode.
I was talking to my mate about it on the weekend. He goes, "Oh, I checked out that episode you did with the Big Brother contestant." And he goes, "Man, Lewis 15 minutes in," he goes, "that was the rudest shit I've ever heard."
It was a big gamble on my part, but I came up with a winner.
Yes. So yeah, definitely go check that out. Now we've got another big episode for you today. I feel like people, look, this wasn't on the list, but people were getting real agitated. And I know everyone in the world's a bit frustrated right now, but Victoria, man, people are getting on each other's nerves. I was on going for a walk the other day with Meg. It was, I guess it's a busy bike track for the time. I guess you don't want anything to be busy. So I would say there's about 5 people around, and we're all trying to go on this bridge. And there was a little bit of a traffic jam because we're allowing some bikes to go through, and everyone wants to keep distance, right? So we kind of paused and waited before we entered the bridge for a few people to clear out. And this guy was coming down on a bike, and I guess there was 5 people waiting. So he just screamed, instead of ringing his bell, he just was like, bike! And then everyone like looked at him and freaked out. And Meg got really embarrassed because I was just like, feet! Because I thought we were just yelling like what our mode of transport was. And Meg got really embarrassed.
That's great. What did the bike guy do?
He just looked at me and said something about me being a smartass, which was fair.
Well, not really. I mean, he's definitely the douche in that situation, just screaming bike, and then someone does what you did, and that makes them the asshole. That's weird to me.
I do regret not yelling leg. I feel like I missed a really good opportunity to just scream leg, because that actually was my mode of transport. But instead I yelled feet, and I got one chuckle out of a dad near me. And
that's what I want to know. Were you like the hero of the bridge?
3 people laughed, 1 baby cried, and 1 mum gave me a big frown.
That's, I would classify that as hero status, maybe anti-hero.
That's a neutral response. The mum was just pissed because I made her baby cry because I was quite loud. But in defense, I think the bike guy woke up the baby first and I just agitated it by screaming again.
Enough. My dad makes babies cry all the time with his face and his dreadlocks because... it happens all the time. If he makes a face at a baby, 9 times out of 10, they will cry. It's very funny.
Your dad kind of looks like if Predator was a carpenter. Yeah.
That really is him.
Yeah.
That's funny. And babies fucking hate that.
Yeah, but fair enough. If I was a baby, I'd fucking hate that as well. If I didn't know what dreadlocks were, it would be pretty intimidating to see that for the first time. That shouldn't be an introduction to dreads. Your dad.
No. Yeah, you think of a guy with dreads and you think, oh yeah, chill guy. My dad just looks like the scariest dude ever. He looks like a sci-fi villain monster.
Yeah, imagine the guy that made Lewis.
I know. So I've had a pretty eventful week. As you guys know, I've been in and out of doctors all week. So initially, I'm trying to fix my nose because I couldn't breathe out of it. So I got the CT scan and found out that I have a deviated septum. So half my nose is just blocked off. And that's a simple fix. You get surgery. So I do need a nose job. We've confirmed that. But I've also been getting really bad sleep apnea, suffocating when I sleep and not sleeping properly, which is usually a fat person or an old person thing. You shouldn't have it with my issue. So I always thought it was my nose because I couldn't breathe out of it.
So do you wake yourself up going
Dude, literally, it's been getting worse and worse, which is why I'm trying to fix it. The other night, 2 nights ago, I think, I literally woke up at 3 a.m. doing this. I lifted my head up off the thing. It was like I'd been underwater for a minute and a half. It was terrible. I couldn't get back to sleep. My adrenaline was pumping. I almost died. It was fucked.
That is mad.
So not good. So I went to this nose and throat specialist, and he's checking out my nose and my throat because he is a specialist, as I previously mentioned. It was fucked. It was the worst doctor experience I've ever had. What he did was he sprayed this numbing agent up both nostrils, and then that went down the back of my throat. So my whole inside of my face was numb and felt weird and was gross. And then he put this fucking camera that was like a pool noodle.
Yes, I've had this.
Down my throat. It was horrific. Right?
Why didn't he just go straight down your throat, through your mouth?
That's what I was thinking, and that's what she said. But I don't really know. I don't know why. I couldn't
because
help
it's
myself.
a quicker route to just go straight down, then up and around. It's kind of taking the scenic route through the nostril.
I know, surely you can just have a look if I open my mouth, but apparently he wanted to go through the nose, right? So that was horrible.
And you're awake. Could you feel it dangling around in you?
Yes, yeah, and he's don't swallow or you'll swallow the camera and I'll have to pull it out. And I was like, fuck. So you're sitting there like this.
Trying not to gag.
Yeah, actually, right? I felt like Riley Reid.
Yeah.
And so it was in my nose and my throat for a minute while he kept going move your jaw this way, move your jaw that way, make this noise, do that. And anyway, he pulls it all out, and then he gets me to take my mask off, and he looks at my head, and it turns out that I have the reason I have sleep apnea, probably I need to do one more test, but he reckons I have a recessed jaw. So my jaw is too far back, and your tongue is attached to your jaw, obviously. So my tongue's too far back, so that when I sleep, it covers my throat. No air gets in. So
Is that why you have such a little chin?
Yeah, I've been diagnosed with a shit chin, right? Officially. So, like, literally, what he did, he goes, "Okay, so it's hard to tell."
Teeny jaw. That's so
Actually,
cute.
yeah, I've got beta chin. I've been diagnosed with it, and he goes, "It's funny because he goes, all right, so it's kind of hard to tell from looking inside your throat, but if you take your mask off, I should be able to figure it out." And he just looks at me from the side, and he goes, "Yeah, so it's definitely recessed." I was like, all I've been having from these doctors is these people trying to destroy my self-esteem. People tell me I've got Marfan. I look like I have Marfan syndrome. I don't have it. I go to another specialist. He goes, "Your chin's fucked."
Every time you go to a specialist, you're just paying someone $300 to tell you that you're a 4.
Brutal. Actually, and previously when I went to a fucking doctor, this chick got me to take my shirt off, and she goes, "Yeah, so your collarbones are definitely deformed." This is fucked.
You're like one of those people back in the day that would have made it into the circus, and everyone just like pays $20 to look at him. You know, that's
I know.
crazy.
I would rather that, because right now I'm paying these guys to call me a freak. At least I would get the money.
Look at you sitting there in that Alpha Energy merch with such a beta chin. That is contradictory. Your chin is just absolutely not selling units right now.
Well, Luke, right? Here's where it gets crazy. So, because sleep apnea is really bad, especially if I'm having it from this age, it can just kill you when you get to like 50, 60. So I need to do one more test to confirm this. I have to do a sleep study where they attach shit to me and then like record how I sleep.
My dad did that once.
Yeah.
But again, he's like, you know, he's of the age where he should be getting that done.
Right,
You're at the prime of your life.
I know. Okay.
Just in case you forgot.
So I have to confirm this, but the throat guy seemed real confident that I'm going to have to get MMA surgery. So what that is they literally cut the bottom half of my head in half and then move it forward.
I was really hoping you would like become great at mixed martial arts. I was like praying. I was like, I hope Lewis is going to join the UFC.
I know that would be sick. I'd have a big career in front of me. But yeah, they're going to move the entire bottom half of my head forward, right? So, man, you make fun of my chin now.
So you're going to have like a custom jawline.
Actually, like,
damn.
I'll show you a before and after.
You're going to look
picture.
like that Instagram filter that gives you the chiseled, like,
I'm
movie
gonna look
star
like handsome
jawline.
Squidward, for sure.
That would be sick. So hang on, do they give you like surely they whack it together a Snapchat filter or something to give you a prediction of what you're going to look like?
Well, I think they do, because a plastic surgeon does do it, because the thing is, like, I would be getting it for health reasons, but a lot of people get this for cosmetic reasons. So I'm going like, and I read like 80% of people notice a huge positive physical difference in their appearance. I just put a before and after of some guy who got it in the chat. He went from being like an okay looking bloke to looking like Action Man. If you have a look at that.
Oh my God.
The screen. Yeah.
I think he also lost some weight between these photos. Or was his chin... He went from having... We'll have to check the photo up on the screen right now if you're a video watcher, but his chin went from a 45-degree angle to fairly straight.
Yeah, and so that's what's going to happen to me. I'm going to get a brand new jawline.
So what would you rate yourself out of 10 now? Because I reckon you could bump it up by 2.
That's what I think. I think that I'm like... Here's what I was kind of talking. I was going to do a joke about this, but Jim Jeffries did this bit better. I think I'm a 6, but because of my career, it bumps me up to a 7.
Yeah, right. So do you think you could be an 8 or a 9 after this surgery?
I could be an 8 if you don't know me, and a 9 if you know what I do. I think that's how it works.
Whoa.
Pretty generous. I would say
9.
walking down the street, you're like... I mean, it depends. You're a niche. You're like... Some people would consider you a 3, and some people would consider you a 10.
A
you know
3?
What I mean? Yeah, you're
what do you
niche.
think Yeah,
because someone who like respects their safety and doesn't want a school to get shot up will be like, 3, you know. But like,
here's the thing. Here's how it works with me. I'm like a 4 to a 5 sitting down. I stand up, and I think my height confuses a lot of girls, where they confuse height with attractiveness, and I go from like a 4 or 5 to like a 7 to a 10 purely from height. It completely confuses women. I see it happen. Like I used to, when I was single, I used to literally do it where I would introduce myself to a girl sitting down and then stand up, and you see the perception shift when they go like that. They go, "Oh wow, I like that," and I'm like, "No, you don't. You've just been confused." But yeah, like you know, make fun of me all you want. You know, you got all these girl fans that think you're cute, bro. When I get my new chin, it's fucking over for you.
Do you reckon?
You're done.
I don't know. You need
just wait.
You need to change your everything else though. Still, you know, you've still got to change. You know, like you made your own Alpha Energy death metal merch. I mean, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe if I
you're not really targeting the teen audience, is my point. They're not going to die like parody metalcore merch.
Look, if I get a brand new jawline and I turn into this handsome. If I have an intimidating face to go along with the rest of me, I am going to have to completely switch it up. I'll have to start dressing like I'm Alex, you know?
Yeah, see, I do like parody Converse merch, you know, much more on brand for the teen market. I mean,
I know.
In 2005, I guess. You know.
But what's going to happen?
I'm stoked for you. So how far away is this on, like, is this on the horizon? Is this years away? What are we talking?
I don't know. So I need to do this one thing and then whatever. But what would happen is it's a weird one because my job is obviously talking. So what would happen is because obviously your teeth is attached to your jaw, the whole bottom row of your teeth moves. So you need to get braces to move the top row forward. So there's going to be like a real period where I'm going to go from a 6 down to a 2 for like 6 months. I'm going to have braces. It's going to be fucked. Right? And I don't know how long I have to have the braces. These are all conversations you need to have.
I was about to get all my bullying out now before you got hot, but it sounds like I've got a real good 6-month window of bullying ahead. Literally post-surgery.
6 months minimum of me wearing braces. Could be 18 months, 26 years old, fucking braces. And then after I get the surgery, I'm going to be Kanye. My jaw's going to be wired shut for minimum 6 weeks. Only drinking like liquids and stuff, and then, bro. But when I get my new chin, it's over for you, and I mean that. I'm taking all your fans.
Yeah, you know what? I don't doubt that, but there will be a glory period in these 6 to 18 months where you look like shit and you have no fans. I mean,
I know.
Literally, you won't even be able to speak. Like, you actually won't be able to communicate with them except for uploading text posts to Instagram.
Yeah, I'm going to be a text guy for a minute. Like, it's when I get my braces, the audio listeners are going to jump up. Video's going to suffer a lot, but audio's going to go nuts.
But how are we going to do... You won't be able to be on the podcast.
Yeah, that's
You'll
the
have to
thing.
take some time off.
Otherwise,
you have to talk like goof.
Yeah, so it'll have to be like we'd have to take minimum 6 weeks off the show, and that's just like for a normal person to return to work. I don't know if I'd be able to, like, you know, the job's talking. I don't know if I could talk well as soon as I get my jaw out.
I'm excited for the future of your face. I'm excited to just see. I am excited for you to maybe become an 8. We'll see. I mean, I'm also worried because there's all like, you said 80%, right? You said 80% of people had positive effects. Yeah. You don't want to be one of the 20.
Well, the 20 didn't report a negative. They just reported no difference. So either
but they would have looked different. Like,
yeah, I think
if you get your jaw moved forward,
maybe
they're the same level of hot, but it's just more forward.
Yeah, what I'm concerned about, I talked about this on my podcast. I'm concerned about what all of my casual fans think, because the casual fans, which is most of your fans, if they don't listen to these 2 podcasts, they're just going to see me take a break and then come back with a brand new face, new chin.
I bet
new
there's going
nose.
to be like,
they'll think I've gone Hollywood.
No, there's just going to be some conspiracy that you died like Avril Lavigne and then someone else replaced you. And then now there's this new Lewis Spears and it looks kind of the same, but not really. And
just like way hotter though.
Orchestrate that.
Maybe you should start conspiracies about yourself just to build some like mystery around your, kind of vibe. Because maybe that's what you need to get back. Like, because you're going to have some time off.
Well, dude, like...
Your career's going to suffer.
It will, with braces. No one wants to look at a guy with braces. That's why they get bullied.
Yeah, and your job is bullying people. And all of a sudden...
I know. What am I going to... Hey, guys, welcome to a new review.
It's really hard to throw some shade while you've got fucking wire on your teeth, isn't it?
I know. I'm gonna have to become like a really positive YouTube creator for a I know. So I don't know. I needed a sleep study, but I'll find out if I need it in the next few weeks, and then I don't know what. So some people are like, "Oh, you should get it done now when I can't tour." But then obviously that knocks out any ability for me to make money because you wouldn't do videos at all. Or I either...
But either way, it knocks out your ability to make money. You can't be doing stand-up anyway, so you may as well do it now.
I suppose so, because...
Because you can be getting twice the amount of money when you go back doing stand-up and videos.
Well, my other thing was either I take off videos now and I'm making no money, or I do a whole tour, I do my comedy special, and then I take the 6 weeks off because I've got the money from the tour. And
yeah, but don't you want to look like an 8 in your special?
That is the issue is it depends.
Like
really,
the killer was like, yeah, you do. I want to watch an 8 talk for an hour, not a 6.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it depends how long I'll have to have braces for. So if I need to have braces for 18 months, I think I would rather start that process after my special, because there's no way I'm doing a special with fucking braces on.
Couldn't you get the braces that go behind your teeth?
That's
like
another
the guy
thing.
From One Direction had.
Yeah, these are all conversations I need to have with my dentist. But because I feel like the hidden braces are surely less effective, and this seems like a drastic thing because you've got to move all of your teeth to a completely new spot. I don't know. But the main thing is when I have my new jawline, it's over for everyone else.
Well, I look forward to that day. It seems like it's a distant future.
I think.
I'll deal with it when it comes. And, I've got a little bit of an overbite, so maybe I just might get it done for cosmetic reasons, purely.
We could both get it done at the same time.
Yeah, and we could come back and we could just be this, like, everyone will just know us for our chins.
We would be the most handsome podcast in the fucking game. I reckon we should both get the double jaw done at the same time.
Think about it. Usually people have a glow up like mid-career, but I just don't think we're at mid yet. I like to still think we're early days. But like Hamish and Andy had a glow up. Yeah, particularly Hamish, you know. Steve Carell in The Office has a massive glow up. Like season 1, he's balding. Boom, season 2, all of a sudden he does 40-year-old virgin. There's a full head of hair.
I mean, the guy who played fucking Neville Longbottom, the most famous
biggest
glow up of all time.
Of course.
That's going to be me, dude.
I mean, I think you're hotter than Neville,
I think now my starting point is better than Neville. So my end point, I could be an 11. Maybe I'll throw
Sky's
comedy
the limit.
In the bin, start modeling for Vogue,
Yeah, that picture you put up during the week of that model that looked like you was disturbingly accurate.
I know.
It was
I had
weird.
a bunch of people send it to me.
It was definitely made me feel uncomfortable. It was like if you were a movie villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. Now, Lewis, big news this week. We often talk about our TikTok account on the show. Yes. Devastating news for us.
Yeah,
we've been banned.
we have been banned, and guys, I would like to officially place the blame on Alex Williamson for smoking a Gatorade bong during our show. We thought that was a very funny moment. We thought we would clip it, put it up on TikTok. Apparently, you're not allowed to be smoking illicit substances on an app that is for children. I wasn't aware of this. Well, I was, but we did it anyway.
I was going to say, I literally posted but before it went up, Devlin, our TikTok guy, was like, hey, should I post this? I don't know. It will probably get taken down. And I went into the community guidelines, screenshotted the bit that said, no harmful, no use of illicit substances. Yeah. And I was like, oh, look, it's a bit of a grey area. It's just a dirty water bottle. What's the harm in that? So I go, yeah, chuck it up. And then within about an hour, we had our account banned. So, I mean, I'm not going to take full responsibility. I'd still like Alex to take some of the blame, but I will take part.
Me personally, that's good that you're taking part responsibility, because I'm actually going to take no responsibility with this one at all, because that's just,
I think you said,
how I roll.
That's all G in the group chat.
Yeah, I did say that, but still, I would like to take no responsibility.
Okay.
And that's just my personal choice. That's just how I roll with this one.
Yep.
I'll be taking no responsibility at all, and I would like to place the blame on the guest that had essentially nothing to do with it.
Great. And you know what? I'd like to retract any blame that I just gave myself. Once again, personal decision for me to put 100% of the blame to Alex, because to be honest, I don't think you'll care anyway, so it's kind of on brand for him. So
I think we're post blocked for like a week. The account's still there, it hasn't been deleted, which is good. We're just banned from posting for like a week. So man,
it should be back this week. We were banned the past week, so I think it should be almost back now.
So Devlin's got a big backlog of stuff he's been making and hasn't been able to post. So we're on our best behavior now. But we were just testing, because there's guidelines and then there's rules. I think TikTok's pretty strict.
Dude,
we've learned.
Videos taken down for the weirdest shit. Like the wet ass pussy clip, I was like, hey, fair. You know what? It's me talking about a moist vagina on an app for children. I didn't even defend that one. I was like, I'm not going to submit appeal. Game, set, match, TikTok. Right? But then I uploaded this clip to TikTok of like me just talking about this girl who was a ginger on The Bachelor. People might remember there was a big thing. This girl was like complaining about being a ginger despite no one calling her a ranger.
That. Did that get taken down?
It wasn't like, I didn't say anything bad about gingers, like at all. It wasn't even like hate speech. Well, yeah, I should have. I mean, I said obviously that, I did. But anyway, it wasn't that bad. I submitted the appeal, and in all my appeals, you just write passive-aggressive statements. I just write, you are wrong, this is not a violation, stop. And then I would just I always just put in really passive-aggressive robotic responses to make them do it quicker. And I'm never polite. I'm never like, thanks, guys, appreciate all you do for my career. I'm just like, you suck, this sucks, put it back up. It's good. And one time, they took down a video of me comparing a Bachelor contestant to Tony Abbott because he was wearing some dog shit Speedos. And I said, I just wrote in my appeal, this is fucked. I wrote, this is fucked. So un-Australian. All I was doing was comparing him to our Prime Minister. Absolutely. I was like, change this immediately. And that one did not get reversed. Fair enough.
And you know what, Luke? That's fucked. You're right.
That is
fucked.
On this one. It's good though. I like that you can treat their like robots or even their manual reviewers just like shit, and you don't get banned.
I go the opposite route where I send them like something that is way too long and well written with like heaps of paragraphs, so that they go, oh fuck, fine, and that usually works well for me.
You don't really need to. You kind of just need to go, this is not a violation of your community guidelines, fix your app, and then just like
I'll have to try that, just going with like objective disrespect.
I'm always pretty passive aggressive, and it works like 50% of the time.
Okay, I'll give that a go next time.
But you're right, maybe if I had a nicer approach, it would work 100% of the time.
Who knows?
Now, I want to do some local goss. We've had a few sent in. Local goss is a new segment we've been doing, and I just want to reiterate, we don't want local crime reports. Now,
no, we don't want local snitching.
We said this last week. We said no snitching, no crime reports, no things about domestic violence, no drug raid reports.
Like, do you guys know what goss is? It's literally, if you are sending an email, just read it and think, oh, could I also tell this to the police? If yes, I don't want to hear it.
Don't send it to us. Just send it to the cops. Now, we said this and made it pretty clear, and apparently all people heard was, they said something about crime reports. All right, I'll send them one. Because we got inundated with more crime reports during the week. More than the week before. So,
is this Crime Stoppers or is this a stupid podcast?
So, this is local goss. Oi! What? You want to hear some local goss? Yep, I guess. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is local goss. Alrighty, boys. We're here at a cafe. I got something
I like the
for
cafe
you.
noise.
Right? From Liam.
This is like brunch, two mums.
Yeah. Just catching up. Going, did you hear? Well,
Yep.
Liam told me the other day, right? On the email, lukeandlewis5@gmail.com. Yeah, he said, hey, boys. Heard a rumor that there was a late night kung fu class going on in the park near my house. It apparently has been going on for a month. I live in Warner in Brisbane. So if you're in Brisbane near Warner, you can get some late night kung fu.
But who, like, is this like...
Man, it's just goss. I've got no idea. No other details for you.
Like, well, that's good because now I can just make up shit. Like, are they now violating, the new COVID guidelines, doing this secretive late night kung fu class?
I mean,
Does the guy even have a
no
degree?
curfew there, so you can just do kung fu at any hour of the day in Brisbane.
There's also no dojo in a park, so I would say they must be violating some kind of guideline. Otherwise, why would you do a kung fu class at nighttime?
Maybe it's just like a kung fu guideline. It's probably like more of a martial arts rule. Anyway, got some more goss for you, Lewis.
Oh, really?
This one came in from Devon. He just said, "Yo, boys, did you hear Kano got a new car?"
Really?
I didn't.
What
well, now
model?
I heard it. Don't know.
That's it?
That was it.
Oh my god.
See, and now that is like exactly what I want. It's just like local goss. Oh, this happened. Don't know who Kano is. Don't know what type of car he got. Don't know if he needed the car. Did he steal the car? Who knows? He just has a new car. That's crazy.
Doesn't even matter how he acquired it, but it's just great to know. And this is about as local as it gets, isn't it? It doesn't get any more local than Kano's new car.
How many words are in that email?
9.
Perfect. That's fucking great. Kano got a new car. That's all I want to know. Oh, that's crazy.
He could have even omitted "Yo, boys." It could have just been, "Did you hear Kano got a new car?"
Yeah. Wow. Good on you,
That
Kano.
would have been brief. Yep. We'll do a couple more bits. James said he just heard from my nan, or his nan, that our local, not my nan, I don't think he was talking to my one, but he goes, I just heard from my nan that our local IGA just got sold. She heard it from Mrs. Rogers. Don't know who the fuck that is though, but we...
Yeah.
And then he says, she even told me that Mrs. Rogers said it could be shutting down. So kind of a loaded goss there, double goss.
Well, that seems really malicious to buy an IGA and then shut it down. Like, that's some real
that's
evil
capitalism,
shit, just
mate.
buying the local supermarket and then closing it.
Yeah, and then just putting in some factory, But Mrs. Rogers clearly is on the inside,
That is
although we don't know who the fuck that is, so it's not a reliable
no idea who
source.
that is. It's like, fuck your milk and bread. I'm closing the IGA.
Yeah, and this final bit of goss comes in from Kane. You said I just heard from my girlfriend. No, oh yeah, I should message you. Just heard from my girlfriend's work that allegedly me and her have split up. So I guess I'm single now, boys. Tell Ruben I have an Android and I'm 21.
Oh, there you go. And he's got a new car.
Yeah,
Ruben.
a little bit of interest there, Ruben. Wants to come to one of your sleepovers.
So this is a guy,
Yeah, Kane. Yeah.
right?
Well, it could be a girl called Kane.
Yeah. But also, think about it, may have a new car. So that could be
That
some
is-
perks.
That's a big
true.
bonus. Yeah.
Also, could be the famous WWE wrestler Kane.
I don't watch WWE. But that's
No one understands that reference? That would be...
No.
I'm assuming there'll be a lot of people listening that do.
There's a few wrestling fans out there slapping their knees right now. Ah, yes, Kane. Good reference.
Any interest, Ruben? Did we need a lull horn then? Goodness.
Yeah, that was a bit of a lull.
I'll pass. I'll pass on
enough.
Kane. Thank you.
All right. Should we do one more? I reckon we wrap it up.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up. I think I think we've learned enough. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a very important message about your nuts and how hairy they are. Manscaped.com, sponsor of the show, the Lawnmower 3.0, best ball hair trimmer in the game. Listen to that. How sensual does that sound? Ooh.
If you want the right tools for the job, okay, they just launched in Australia, and we'll be honest, I'll be honest. A lot of my life, I was using the wrong tools until I got the bloody lawnmower, Lewis. And now...
I nicked myself many times. I still have PTSD from my old shaver. Every time I use this one near the danger zone, I keep going, oh, it's going to hurt. And it never does.
Sometimes
awesome.
Lewis will just be sitting there eating something, and he'll just be distantly looking away, and I know for a fact he's having nut flashbacks from a shave in mid-2014,
Yeah.
And
not good.
Not anymore. And you know what? And just purely because I care about my friend, I'm super glad Lewis has now got Manscaped's products, because now when he looks away distantly, it's hopeful, I can tell that he's dreaming of a bright future with smooth nuts.
Yeah, I really am, and I'm thinking about the Lawnmower 3.0. It's great. It works really well. For some reason, it seems to have a laser dot point sight on it. It's got a light on there. I don't know who's shaving their nuts in the dark, but
it's so you can quick scope your sack.
Yeah, that's what it's for. It's for a 360-degree quick scope. Sometimes, if I'm feeling adventurous, I'll jump in the shower, turn the lights off, and chuck on the laser dot sight, spin around, and trim off a couple of hairs. I might upload a montage to our channel.
We're not encouraging it, but we're just saying it's possible, Yeah. And you can do that if you can get 20% off if you use the code SOUNDOFF20.
Yeah. If that doesn't work, use code SOUNDOFF. It's either Sound Off or Sound Off 20, all one word. The codes have been changing, but try those two. That's what we've been told. One of them works, and that's 20% off and free shipping. It's a great deal. And then it says here, do not read. Host to talk about a time when he's hurt his balls. Oh, well, we've done that. That's good. And manscaped.com, guys.
Yeah, that's like those recurring Joey gags on Friends where they just get tired after season 4. He's like, oh, he's still dumb, and Lewis still reads do not read. Fuck yeah.
It's a good bit, and I refuse to give it up.
Okay, well, go buy shaver.
Buy shaver. Manscaped.com. Use code SOUNDOFF or SOUNDOFF20. Let's get back to the show. These nuts. Jeez, who loves the fucking Zoom calls? I saw Daniel Andrews was talking about extending stage 4 beyond 6 weeks if cases don't stop dropping. I was like, man, I think it would be a lot easier for me to just believe that this whole thing's a hoax invented by the government to make Trump lose the election at this point. I hope that's true. You know what I mean? Now,
my friends were telling me about this stupid... People were saying that they made the curfew and this is all a hoax because they're trying to shut down child trafficking tunnels in Melbourne. Did you see that one?
That's my fave. This is there's conspiracy theories that make you go, oh yeah, there's something in there that could be true. This one is wildly got to be the most false sounding conspiracy theory I've ever heard.
It was hilarious. The evidence was backed up. It was like, well, why is there 27 flights coming in per night from China? It's A, they're freight, and also it's see photo attached, and this photo is from 3 a.m. and the photo attached is just a photo that was taken in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
it says in their thing though, this photo was taken at 3 a.m. I'm like, did you even proofread what you posted? What the fuck?
I know. So the conspiracy theory, it's so funny, is that the lockdown in Melbourne is actually only so that the police can actually do a giant raid of secret underground tunnels underneath Melbourne that are full of children that have been sex trafficked, that are used by wealthy elites and shit. And I was always thinking of doing a bit about it in the sense that dude, if I'm a multi-millionaire or a billionaire pedophile elite, if I want to fuck a kid, there's no way I'm getting on a flight to Australia to do it in a tunnel. Fuck that. I'm going to Thailand where it's sunny. You know what I mean? I gotta go to a tunnel just to fuck a kid? No way. I can do that anywhere. I can go to an island.
I think they were saying I don't think the theory was that they were going down to the tunnels to do it. I think it was their trafficking. The theory was they're trafficking them through tunnels and sending them to China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, well then that's definitely true.
Yeah. Okay. So you heard it here first. We're confirmed. Yeah. That's some fucking local goss if I've ever heard it.
That is, that's like completely unproven, definitely false. There's no sources.
Honestly,
did you hear there's tunnels full of kids under Melbourne? Oh.
From reading the emails that we got sent in, that wouldn't be that far-fetched. We got a few similar emails that I've deleted of just like local crime that wasn't like some people send in like, we got one email that was just a guy trying to expose a drug ring in his area. I'm like, dude, you should tell someone else about this.
Yeah, we're not absolutely not interested in snitching on like big time crime. This is local goss. Kano got a new car. That's what we want.
We're happy to call like the local baker a douche, but that's about as far as we go on this show. Yeah, I think, is that the end of the show? How long have we been gone for? Oh, it's not. We've got ages to go. We've got more things written down.
Yeah, we've got a few more things.
What did you say, Keelan?
So I have a Bond's released a new ad that I thought we could have a watch of and talk about because it's pretty funny. If we want to do that now,
that's good. I'm happy to talk about other brands of underwear. You know, rest in peace, Nobby.
I need to share my sound 1 sec.
The company's still alive, by the way. They just don't sponsor our show anymore.
Yeah, tough times. No hard feelings to Nobby. They'll come back.
Hey, nice crew neck.
Thank you.
My dad has a crew neck.
Guess we don't see many these days.
Back in my day, they were everywhere.
Good on you for getting your neck out there, you know? Why hide it?
Hey, bro, my son has a turtleneck, so our necks look different. It's no problem. I sometimes worry it makes my neck look small.
No, it looks big. Did you ever have a turtleneck? Or?
Oh, yeah, of course, when I was a boy. Yeah, but my parents, you know.
Oh.
But I'm comfortable. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Comfy.
Yeah. Comfy.
That's a great ad. I like that.
Yeah,
it's like body positivity without saying it, because if they did say it, that'd be gay.
Wasn't that the joke of like, the joke is guys don't do this in the locker room. They slap each other's cocks and finger each other's butts on national TV on the footy.
I don't know what you've been doing in the locker room.
Haven't you heard what happened in the footy like a couple of weeks ago?
Are you seriously expecting me to answer? Haven't you heard about what happened?
No, it was just like big news. It was just big news.
What's happened?
All these Richmond players. I mean, it wasn't big news. That's the thing. They made it into big news, but I didn't think it was a big deal at all. No one really did. It was just guys joking around like footy players do, putting their fingers in each other's butt, and because they have cameras that Channel 7 cameras in the change rooms, it got broadcasted on TV, and because the guy was a person of color, people were calling it racist. When I actually,
a bit much grabbing his cock and balls.
No. Apparently, like I have on good authority, because one of the guys is, friends with a couple of friends of mine who was involved in the thing, and they were doing it to everyone all week, and the one that got caught on camera looked really bad. He's like, it was like an in-joke, but also, Richmond, get better in-jokes. Like, finger in your mate's ass. We work in comedy. I get it. It's a bit, but it's not. We have shit in-jokes. Trust me. We go on tour and we scream Jeff and slap walls. We're not saying we're above it, but maybe just do something else.
I think so. I don't know. But that's always been like a big part of sport, is like slapping each other on the ass and touching each other. And I never got it, and I wouldn't appreciate someone doing that to me. But it seems to be a big part of sport. But also, should that be a big part of sport? I don't know.
The guy who got slapped or whatever came out and was like, "Yeah, it was a joke. Shut up." Like, he was just like, "This is ridiculous." But it was so funny to me that the media were like trying to make it a race thing. And I'm like, no, this is a guys stick their finger on each other's butts thing, which is also problematic, but it's not a race thing.
Oh yeah, I think that that is, it's so funny when the media, it happens all the time in Australian media where they try to do the offended controversy, but it's always manufactured. A lot of the time with sports and jokes and shit like that. Like I remember it happened to a rugby player a while ago where this woman was chasing a rugby player for a joke that he told, and they were like, "Oh, aren't you ashamed? Aren't you whatever this or that?" And he's like, "Nah." And he just kept going, "Nah, I think it was funny. Just a joke. Nah, I don't care." And then it was nothing.
I think, I don't know. Well, I think we're hearing this point where, because there's so many like ways you can hear stuff from, and there's so many places online now, like Twitter, where you can actually voice an opinion. The one positive of that is it actually doesn't validate, like it kind of holds news corporations more accountable, I think is what I'm trying to say. With this Meghan Markle thing that happened, she came out, is that her name? What's her name? Yeah. She came out and said, for people to vote or something for Trump. And everyone was like...
Against Trump.
Oh, against Trump. Sorry. Yeah. And then everyone was like... The media came out and was like, why the fuck is she commenting on this? And then the general public was like, who gives a shit? Prince Andrew's a pedophile. Talk about that.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like a thing where it really shows... Like the people... my point is, people show what's important now, and the news seems less important. Like what the news is saying, people just go, who gives a fuck? It's not news. Stop. You know?
Yeah. Also, Meghan, people forget, Meghan Markle, a lot of people are saying, oh, the royals shouldn't comment on political affairs, but like they are part of politics. And like there's, I saw this one thing of like, people going, oh, the royals shouldn't comment on political affairs and they should be bipartisan. And then someone like just sent a photo of the Queen shaking hands with Hitler. Like meeting Hitler with the swastika and everything, like actually happened. And being
really?
like a delegate. Yeah, real, yeah.
Wait, like Lizzie?
I don't know if it was Lizzie.
No, it would have been her mum.
Too young. Would have been her mum. The Queen at the time.
Right. Yeah.
Shaking hands with Hitler and shit. And also, Meghan Markle's an American citizen, so she like should encourage voting and participation in the political
she's
process.
from there.
Yeah.
People forget that she's American now.
But it is funny in the sense that like the biggest story for the royals is definitely not an American citizen telling people who they should vote for. It's definitely the pedo shit. You know that I saw video just this morning. People are protesting outside the royal palace about the pedo stuff, chanting pedophiles, this and that. Media's completely ignoring it.
That's why. That's the thing. I feel like now the media, because of the internet, they're not the only news source anymore. Like it's really hard to make people think a thing when there's so much information out there, and people are a lot more willing these days to have their own opinion on a thing, which is kind of good, I guess. People don't just read things and go, oh, okay.
It's good and it's bad, where in the sense that journalists obviously get lots of training on how to do journalists, but then ultimately they're controlled by corporate interests and they have to make money rather than tell the truth. So that's always going to skew them one way or another. But it's like when you have Fox and CNN saying the opposite things about the same event, if you watch both of them, you can kind of find the truth of like, oh, they're saying that, they're saying the opposite. The truth is probably around here. But when you have now with the same event, 1 million people saying a bunch of different things, you can look at it and go, okay, well, any one of these things could be true. I guess I'll pick that one. And then all of a sudden you believe there's kids stuck under tunnels.
Yeah, you look at like 1 million people screaming on the internet and you're like, oh, well, everyone... Like, I just look at that and go, well, people are fucked, and I will walk away. Like
that's the only answer to like remain sane, is you look at it all and you go, oh, well, everyone's lying, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I just, throw in my 2 cents on a podcast every now and then because I've read 4 tweets, and you're welcome to that, guys.
That's another thing. Like, I literally just said, oh, yeah, the Queen was shaking hands with Hitler. That could be Photoshopped. I got no idea. I just saw it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's real. Can we Google that? Is that real?
In what year did the UK and Germany, like, between the wars, have such a good relationship where they were just hanging out?
Yeah. Like, I got no idea if that shit's true. Like, I bet a bunch of people were like, oh, really? The Queen was on the side? Yeah, this photo.
Oh, okay.
It might have been before he started doing the ethnic cleansing shit.
Back when he was just the political leader.
maybe because there was a period where he like rose up and he was saying fuck shit, but he wasn't doing fuck shit yet. So that was probably I would at least hope that's where that handshake took place.
It wasn't like a congratulations on the camps kind of thing.
Yeah, but you know they probably shook hands, and then when the media was away, she was like, I don't like him either. You know that happened.
Yeah. Well, you'd hope so. You'd hope she didn't come away and going, what a good, nice guy. Like,
I was saying that, she was agreeing with him going, hey, I don't like him either. Or
sorry.
But
I thought you meant I don't like him either.
Yeah. But again, I've completely invented that out of thin air. That's probably almost definitely not true.
All right, well, if we can
never listen to anyone.
I was about to say, if we can take anything away from this last 10 minutes of discussion is we're fucking morons and you guys probably shouldn't listen. So anyway, come back next time on Thursday where we do another podcast.
The main thing to take away is once I get my new jaw, it's over for everyone.
Before we finish up, I got some breaking news, if you're interested.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Daniel Andrews extends state of emergency for 12 months. And the state of emergency is the rules about face mask, COVID safe work, and all the limits and everything we have currently. Not necessarily like stage 3 or 4 that we're in, but just the limitations to daily life I'm getting
maybe
confused.
That means
I'm looking at
he
different
has...
news sources, but he's proposed it, and but other news sources are saying that it's in
that
place
probably
now.
Means that means he would have the ability to bring in stage 1, 2, 3, 4 for the next 12 months.
Yeah, because the state of emergency is only 6 months, so he can extend it for 12. Is what he's trying to do.
That's interesting. I would be totally on board with face masks everywhere if we could go back to normal. I just think that they need to protect. They really need to protect old people. They've completely fucked that. All of the deaths are just old people dying because it's in nursing homes. They completely fucked that up. I don't know why they didn't. Oh, I just want to leave my house. But also, I do want to be careful with this shit. It's weird. It's like.
So does that mean no shows for 12 months?
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
No, I think that means...
It pretty much doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it does mean something. It means that the limits on everything we do can be reinforced any time for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could go back to
But
freedom.
they could do that anyway, clearly. So
I think so.
Well,
I think.
Yeah.
No, I think that we just need to. I don't know if this is possible to beat without doing what New Zealand did, and it might be too late for that. We just have to get a vaccine or suffer. I think. Yeah. Yeehaw. Guys, Zoom call podcast till 2025. Bye.
Is that how we're ending it?
Nah, if you guys want to support the show, definitely check out the Patreon. We've got the last episode we did was really good. It was us talking about stand-up comedy and little bits that we're writing.
And
so
let us know if you
like.
like that, because we could probably just do like a workshop and writing session like once a month. I mean, it's productive for us. We could literally just hit record on, because we recorded it more like it was a podcast, but we could literally just hit record on a joke writing session once. It might be fucked though.
We should be doing that anyway, really. Like I've been struggling with writing, so that might be good. If you guys want that, let us know in the Discord server. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Make sure you use the Manscaped discount code, SOUNDOFF. If that doesn't work, it's SOUNDOFF20, manscaped.com. This is the last week with them, so this is our little trial week. So if you want a shaver, get it now so they can extend it. And we will talk to you guys in a couple of days. Thank you very much. Luke and Lewis, how good is Zoom?
We love Zoom here.